Hey, welcome back to NewZeroland. So, Zero Motorcycles just announced a new bike called the DSRX, and I'm gonna be honest, since I sold my Zero, I've been in this really happy bubble riding my Energica so much that I kind of forgot Zero was still doing stuff. But here they are, at it again. Zero has a new bike, and it's exactly the same style as the Energica Xperia I got to ride in Italy. And Zero also unveiled their bike in Italy right after Energica week. Can you believe the balls on Zero right now? So obviously you'd expect a whole bunch of articles to come out comparing the two. How do these two high-end electric brands stack up against each other? Which one gets better range? Which one's the better deal? Instead, in all the articles I've read about the DSRX, Energica doesn't exist. There's like this weird journalist land where Zero is the only game in town, and they're building the most technologically advanced motorcycles in the world. The DSRX is apparently the first electric adventure bike, and it gets the longest range out of all of them. Electric said that it can ride for 13 hours straight without stopping.
This is like, I can't believe this shit I'm seeing.
But it's okay, I've come to realize that comparing Zeros and Energicas doesn't really make sense, because Zero hasn't built something on the same level yet. The new DSRX is actually closer to the old DSR than it is to anything else. If you didn't know, the DSRX is the successor to the DSR, which Zero brought out in 2016. The new bike uses the same platform as the SRF and SRS, but gets back to that dual sporty style. And I'm all for it, because I love the DSR. A few years ago, my wife started riding my SR to work, and so I needed a second bike, and I bought a DSR, a 2016 DSR from Pinero, that guy who always comments first. I rode that thing in the dirt and up some forest trails, and I had a blast. That was such a great bike. I ended up selling it to my buddy Jez, and we upgraded the charging to 6.6 kilowatts so he could go longer distances. Hold that thought, because it's important. A 2016 DSR with 6.6 kilowatts of charging. Let's just store that for later. Anyway, not long after that, things started breaking on my SR. My charger died, my motor died, and then I got to find out what Zero's customer support was like.
That was a hot mess inside a dumpster fire, inside a train wreck.
It really painted a picture of how the company treats its customers. So I sold my bike and I tried to forget all about that experience. Then Zero announced something called the Cipher store, which, if you missed that exciting drama, Zero thought it'd be cool to make bikes with features that were locked, unless you gave them more money to unlock them.
What is happening?
I don't know and ain't trying to understand it.
Yeah, that was a dick move. But after all of us spoke out against it, saying how stupid it was, Zero agreed, and they scrapped the Cipher store entirely. They're not doing it anymore. Now, when you go to build an SRF, SRS, or the new DSRX on their website, they include everything. No more battery capacity locked behind a paywall. They just raised the price to what a fully unlocked Zero would be, and I like that a lot, because here's the bike, here's what it can do, here's how much it costs. That's how it should be. Now the bike comes with this little badge that says Cipher Plus, meaning it comes with all the extras and nothing's locked up. So the big question is, has Zero turned things around? Are they listening to what their riders want? Is the DSRX Zero's chance to redeem itself? At first glance, it's just last year's SRS with a different cyberpunky off-road body style. It's a lot like the Ghost in the Shell concept bike with a windscreen, which I kind of like this. The more I look at it, the more I like it. Under the skin, it's the same frame, same battery, so same range, and the same charging as last year. And ooh boy, I'm going to talk about the charging later. On a positive note, since all the Cipher extras are included now, you get reverse, and I'm assuming heated grips. I didn't see them in the accessories, so I'm assuming they're included. That'd be cool. And a new hill hold feature for easier starts on an incline. The taller suspension is also a nice upgrade for people who want to ride off-road. It has almost 8 inches of travel and a 19-inch front wheel, which fits the adventure bike requirements. The belt is now 25mm wide, way beefier than the 17mm belt on the SRS, and it comes with a guard to keep rocks out. So small but nice improvements. Okay, I'm starting to come around. Something else that's new is the motor, which has less horsepower but 26 more foot-pounds of torque. It definitely feels like a more modern DSR, like it has all the important bits, and I feel like Zero built something really cool. But let's bring back that 2016 DSR to compare. We have more features on the new bike, and more power, but also more weight. And I have to bring up the official from Zero 85 miles highway range. So in the last 6 years, range hasn't improved at all. And now we'll talk about charging, which will make riding this bike a real adventure. We're really hoping that Zero would finally take this opportunity to put DC charging on their bikes. Like, this was the time, this was the bike. I mean, Energica and Livewire have only had it for the past 8 years since the day they were announced. But nah, it's cool. We'll just use the same 6.6 kilowatt AC charger from last year. And to translate what 6.6 kilowatts means, that's over 2 hours for a full charge. I did a road trip once with my old Zero SR with a 6.6 kilowatt charger, just to give you an idea of what that's like. I could ride about 50 miles and then I would have to stop and charge for 45 minutes. So to go 300 miles took me 13 hours. But back then, all those years ago, we were still early adopters and we were just embracing the challenge and having fun with it. But not anymore. We've moved past that. Technology has gotten way better, so that we don't have to do that anymore. A brand new bike shouldn't charge that slowly. It shouldn't take you 13 hours to go 300 miles. And also, building a brand new electric vehicle that only works with the slowest charging infrastructure makes no sense.
I feel like you just agreed with me, but you weren't listening to what I was saying.
Yes. Having somebody making wild decisions that make no sense, that benefits nobody. Oh, yes. Right, yes.
Is he listening to it? I can't tell.
He's listening. He's not understanding.
Yeah, he doesn't even, like, get us, man. We're talking about you.
So unless you shell out the cash for Zero's additional rapid charger, which isn't available yet and doesn't work the way you think it will and would take me way too long to explain why, a 2-hour charge time is what you're looking at. Zero's excuse for this, for sticking with AC charging, is that they think that you'll be riding out in forest where there aren't any DC stations and an RV park is probably the only place you'll find to charge. And so AC charging is perfect. But how far away are we talking? Are you going to tow your bike there? I'm assuming you're gonna ride out to those trails. Do you want to hang out at an RV park for 2 hours?
No, don't like that.
Now, when you look at the price of the DSRX, it becomes even harder to justify. It starts out at $24,500 US and has enough accessories to go up over $30,000. Add a charge tank or a power tank, and we're almost to unobtainable Lightning LS218 money. The original Livewire wasn't even this expensive. And I'm going to argue that if you're spending this much money, you're probably not going to ride the bike off-road. I'm sure the DSRX is totally capable off-road, and I've seen tons of videos of people riding it off-road, and they all rave about it, they say it's great. But personally, I'd be really worried about crashing a $30,000 bike, because then you're into the whole painful world of trying to get parts from Zero. So I guess I'm not sure who this bike is for. Like, if you really want a Zero and you want to ride off-road, get an FX. If you want a little bit more range but still want to go off-road, get a DSR with a charge tank. I mean, the DSRX is bigger, it's newer, has some cool features and upgrades, but without better range or charging, it's hard to say it's any more capable than the DSR was 6 years ago. So, take from this video what you will. As a previous owner of a DSR, I would probably just buy another DSR. But would I?
You want to run back and get it?
No, we've gone too far.
Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.